Wednesday, January 3, Inspired Prayers. Read 2 Samuel chapter 23, verses 1 and 2, and Romans chapter 8, verses 26 and 27. What do these texts teach us about prayer? First of all, 2 Samuel 23, beginning at verse 1. Now these are the last words of David. Thus says David, the son of Jesse, thus says the man raised up on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was on my tongue. And Romans chapter 8, verses 26 and 27. Likewise, the Spirit also helps in our weaknesses, for we do not know what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit himself makes intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. Now, he who searches the hearts knows what the mind of the Spirit is, because he makes intercession for the saints according to the will of God. What do these texts teach us about prayer? The Psalms are inspired prayers and praises of Israel, and so in the Psalms the voice is that of God intermingled with that of his people. The Psalms assume the dynamics of vivid interactions with God. The psalmists address God personally as my God, O Lord, and my King in Psalm 5 verse 2 and Psalm 84 verse 3. The psalmists often implore God to give ear, as in Psalm 5 verse 1, hear my prayer, as in 39:12, look, as in 25:18, answer me, as in 102 verse 2, and deliver me in Psalm 6 verse 4. These are clearly the expressions of someone praying to God. The remarkable beauty and appeal of the Psalms as prayers and praises lie in the fact that the Psalms are the Word of God in the form of the pious prayers and praises of believers. The Psalms thus provide God's children with moments of intimacy, such as described in Romans 8, 26 and 27, which we'll read again. Likewise, the Spirit also helps in our weaknesses, for we do not know what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself makes intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. Now he who searches the hearts knows what the mind of the Spirit is, because he makes intercession for the saints according to the will of God. Jesus, too, quoted from the Psalms, such as in Luke 20, verses 42 and 43, when he quoted directly from Psalm 110, verse 1. Now David himself said in the book of the Psalms, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. Although some psalms have sprung from or refer to specific historical events, and the experiences of the psalmists themselves, as well as the experiences of Israel as a nation, the psalm's spiritual depth speaks to a variety of life situations and crosses all cultural, religious, ethnic, and gender boundaries. In other words, as you read the Psalms, you will find them expressing hope, praise, fear, anger, sadness, and sorrow, things that people everywhere in every age, no matter their circumstances, face. They speak to us all in the language of our own experiences. And so to finish today, what should Jesus' use of the Psalms tell us about the importance that they could play in our own faith experience? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. And you can listen and watch at the same time on YouTube. Remember, God is always faithful.